Game 45 of the season is in the books.
It's the Pizza Hut Lakers Postgame Show.
Delivered by new melts from Pizza Hut. Cheesy, crispy, and loaded with toppings for just $6.99. Enough for two, price for one. New Pizza Hut melts. Only at Pizza Hut.
Lakers basketball is a final.
877-710 ESPN.
It's the Pizza Hut Lakers Postgame Show.
Tipping off now.
Now, here's Alan Sliwa.
All right, 116-111, the final score. The Sacramento Kings over the Lakers. Lake Show 20-25, 13th place in the Western Conference. The Kings 25-18. They are now, New Orleans lost a little bit earlier today. They got some guys banged up, so the Kings actually jump up. They're top three in the Western Conference. Lakers, couple stats I'm going to throw your way. 9-17 versus teams above 500, which to have AD miss as many games that he's missed, I kind of understand that portion. 20 second chance points tonight for the Sacramento Kings. They out-rebound the Lakers 47-36, 14 offensive rebounds to 6. They hit 7 more free throws than the Lakers. Those kind of small stats right there, I think, do tell the difference of this game tonight. This one feels a little bit different tonight. This one feels like the Lakers did not take advantage of an opportunity that they had in front of them, which I think every Laker fan understands this. The Lakers have not had many things go their way. For the most part this year, other teams are healthy. Lakers are not fully healthy. There's been some instances. I'm not saying that it's happened every single game. When I was getting ready, Coach Darvin Ham was getting ready to talk pregame, and we get word Domantas Sabonis, non-COVID illness, is out tonight. Instantly for me, I'm thinking about that game that the Lakers had in Sacramento 10 days ago, whenever it was, and they win 136-134, and it was a big-time win, and you felt like, dang, the Lakers just continue to get some type of momentum here, even though AD's not there. And especially without Sabonis, I'm thinking that this is an incredible opportunity for the Lakers, a win that they desperately need. And what ends up happening? The Lakers go up by 14 points. You feel good about the situation that they're in. And then Sacramento, just this wave in the second quarter. They outscore the Lakers by 12. Third quarter, outscore the Lakers by 7. Lakers put up 21 points and 22 points in the second and the third quarter. Outscored by 19 in that second and that third quarter. And then fourth quarter to game, it's back and forth. I still feel like there's still so much isolation basketball. The ball doesn't move enough. Lakers become very predictable. They shoot at the end of the shot clock. Either Bron's dribbling, waiting to do something, or Russ is dribbling, waiting to do something. There isn't this flow to the game that you're hoping for, and it's another L for the Lakers. So this one, to me, was frustrating. I'm going to throw out the phone number. If you're out driving around or you're just leaving Crypto.com arena and you want to be a part of the show and you just want to give your opinion or your thoughts on this game, the phone number is 877-710-ESPN, 877-710-ESPN. Also, thank you to everybody. We're live on all our social platforms as well. Obviously, welcome to call in as well. We're going to start lining up the calls. I want to take a quick listen. Russ has already spoken, so let's take a quick listen to Russell Westbrook on the Lakers' loss.
Yes. Hey, Russ, the last 3 losses, I think, have come by a total of 9 points. What's the mentality that you guys try to handle that and take something from it moving forward?
I don't know. You can take something from it collectively, individually, but kind of how you see it, all subjective to kind of how you see it, honestly.
This wasn't the deciding play, but it was one of the plays down the stretch, the clear path foul from Max. What do you think of that rule that obviously hasn't existed your entire career? Is that an appropriate penalty to have 2 foul shots and the ball for something like that?
They made the call. That was it.
Russ, there were a couple possessions in the final minutes where you guys had to force up shots to beat the shot clock. I think there was a shot clock violation by you guys in the fourth quarter. What were the struggles into getting the offense going and getting off a shot before the play clock?
I don't know. I mean, got to watch it and see, but not sure exactly what to pinpoint on that.
Russ, a couple quick ones for you. Was the double team on Barnes with you and Pat, was that planned in the rotations, and kind of what did you see on that play where they called the foul on you? Were you guys, was that the scheme to double team there?
No, I was just helping.
And then you'd said kind of you can see this, this kind of this week a couple different ways, individually, collectively. I'm curious, like, how do you see it? These 3 losses in games you guys were competitive, but no, like again, results being important as well. What do you make of it?
Well, down the stretch, you got to make winning plays on offense and defense. Have my fair share of close games, so understanding that it don't always come down to a last shot. I know everybody looks at the last shot or last possession, but it could be the play that happened with 2 minutes to go or a minute to go. So when I'm watching film and watching the games, I'm understanding that a rebound here, a tip out, a box out, open look, an extra pass, all these things contribute to not closing the game the way we want to. So that's how I look at it. And I try to make my adjustments based on, what I'm in and what I can do to help, make winning plays.
All right, that's Russ right there. Lakers lose 116-111, the final score. I want to take a couple phone calls here. I know this. It's kind of interesting because when I'm listening to some of those questions about that's 4 straight games, they're close. They're coming down to the wire. And the only win that the Lakers have is obviously against the Houston Rockets, who is got the worst record in the NBA. These games against good teams, obviously the end of games execution, what you're doing, what the game plan is, how important every possession is, that's crucial. That's critical. Good teams find ways to win. Bad teams find ways to lose. And the Lakers right now are unfortunately finding ways to lose games rather than win. All right, let's go to Kerry in the OC. Kerry, what's going on?
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Thanks for calling in.
Yeah, I just got 2 questions. First of all, LeBron should be MVP of this year. I mean, no question about it. He's just playing remarkable right now. He's carrying these young guys. And my second question is, what is wrong with our players? They're young and they're depending on LeBron to take all the shots. They're passing up shots. It's like, take the shot. He throws it to you. You throw it back to him with 4 or 5 seconds on the shot clock. Take the shot, young guy. This man is 40 years old.
Kerry, I don't disagree with anything you're saying. I think there's this, and I appreciate you calling in. Bron will not win the MVP for the simple fact that the Lakers are in 13th place in the Western Conference. And trust me, I marvel at what he's doing at age 38, but you can't be in the conversation unless you're in that playoff picture. Now, maybe something changes down the road here, and I know AD has been out. But the other thing that you're saying, you cannot rely every possession, and it's not good basketball. When you have somebody just dribbling the ball or they're all depending on one player to save them on every possession, you kind of fall into a trap. If I'm a squad, if I'm the Sacramento Kings and I see that LeBron's got to jack up another 3 or the shot clock is running down and now you're taking a shot, not because it's the shot you want, but it's because it's the shot that you're left with, those are good defensive possessions. And I said this a little bit earlier, I don't feel like there's any flow for the Lakers right now. And a lot of that does have to do, you don't have to say the young players. What about Dennis Schroeder? What's happened to him over the last week and a half, 2 weeks? Pat Bev is in there 27 minutes. You need more offense from Pat Bev. I already talked about Troy Brown Jr. Those starters, you need more production from the starters. That also kind of hurts what LeBron James and his time out on the floor with the amount of time that he's spending with the starters. That's critical as well. You obviously have to have that. That's key as well. Let's take another call here. Let's go to Joe in the Inland Empire. What's going on, Joe?
Hey, Alan, how you doing?
Good, brother. Thanks for calling in. What's going on?
Yes, I've been trying to give you a break lately. We were doing good at one point. We're on a win streak, and now we're back on a losing streak, it looks like. Just feel like it's a mix between bad execution and just bad coaching. Sorry to say for Darvin Ham, like sometimes he's just forcing guys on the court. Like he took Max Christie out and he put in Kendrick Nunn, and we had Pat Beverly on the floor with Russ and I think Toscano. I'm like, what in the hell is going on? I just think that we really have to. I don't. When it comes to trade, I really don't want to give up no first rounders. I really am with the front office on that part. I really want to stockpile some first rounders so we can start getting some young guys in this league because you need young players. And I really do think that they need to package two second rounders over to the Knicks and go get Cam Reddish. We need somebody else that's like a 6'8" athlete that can create for herself, get to the rack, do multiple things, not just like a Bogdanovich that can just spot up and shoot. We need somebody that's like an athletic kind of somebody with a T-Mac kind of frame that can, do his own thing. And I think that if we can go get somebody like Cam Reddish and trade one of these Pat Bev, Nunn guys over to the Knicks, really trade Damian Jones and some cash over there to the Knicks and send two second rounders.
I'm going to jump in. I'm going to jump in real quick. So the idea and the concept of a wing, no question about Lakers need a wing, period, point blank. They also need a shooter. And Cam Reddish is about a 30% three-point shooter. So that's not going to solve. You might have somebody that's bigger. You might have another wing, but it's also not going to solve the problem of having somebody that can – LeBron has played in his career with dudes that can hit jumpers. The Lakers don't really have anybody consistently that's going to hit jumpers. But the way the Lakers, and I'm going to go back to these last 4 games, they've been in games. I give them credit for being in these games. I give them credit for battling and fighting every single night. I give them credit for all that. I don't question that. But towards the end of these games, you're in it, you have a chance to win, and they're struggling. They're like I said, there's too much isolation basketball, there's too much watching LeBron, or there's too much Russ dribbling the ball up and down, where I use the Kings as an example. You can argue their best player did not play tonight. Yeah, okay, whoever you want. Sabonis, De'Aaron Fox, both of them obviously are really nice players. The ball kept moving. The ball didn't seem like you knew where it was going to go. There was more of a flow to their offense than there was for the Lakers. All right, Lakers lose tonight, 116-111. We'll get Lakers head coach Darvin Ham coming up next. Plus, we'll take more of your phone calls. If you're on hold, be patient. If you want to call in, 877-710-ESPN. This is the Pizza Hut Lakers postgame show on 710.
Hey, Laker fans, John Ireland here. Have you downloaded the new ESPNLA app? You got to get this thing. It's great. You can get Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, Sedano and Cap, and all of our Lakers talk with Slee right in the palm of your hand.
You're just one tap away from everything Lakers. You could even win Lakers tickets.
React to the Lakers on ESPNLA app.
Download the new ESPNLA app in the App Store or on Google Play.
One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There is no mistake. There's no mistake.
There's a
mistake. The mistake. Come on. Seriously. Well, that's right here. It says mistake. Again. There's a mistake.
No! I'm an idiot. No, I cannot find something here.
Double the
Son of.
I don't see it, no. There's a mistake on this page?
Yeah.
Oh, there's 2 thus.
There you are.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You beat Slee.
Yeah.
No, I can't find a mistake.
Look at the words.
Can you?
Still don't see it?
You find the... Yeah, there's 2 thus. You find the mistake. God, I feel dumb.
LVD?
Yeah,
It's double digit. Am I the only one that got it?
Hut Lakers Postgame Show.
Highlights from tonight's Lakers game.
And your reaction on the Lakers line. Presented by Pizza Hut. Try the new Detroit style from Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Hi, this is Anthony Davis of your Los Angeles Lakers.
Hi, it's LeBron. The Lakers play here.
It's time for Lakers Postgame with Sliwa.
Now, here's Alan Sliwa.
Points in the Paint all season long is sponsored by Vista Paint. Right now, local residents can take 40% off on factory direct high-quality Vista Paint products. A Vista Paint team member will show you how. Locally owned, manufactured, and operated since 1956. Visit VistaPaint.com and start saving. The Sacramento Kings tonight. Points in the Paint. They got 50. Lakers had, they had 58. Lakers had 50. Kings 116-111 the final score. Let me kind of power through a few calls here real quick. And we'll go to Lakers head coach Darvin Ham. Let's go to Patrick in Pasadena. What's going on, Patrick?
Oh, how you doing, man? I just want to say that, the Lakers are playing real hard basketball. I think they're relying too much on LeBron to get hot in these games. It's not going to happen every game, and they can't let guys like Schroeder have 5 points or whatever he had tonight. They've got to keep everybody more involved.
Well, here's what's crazy, and we appreciate you calling into the show. What's crazy is you have the Lakers ended up – Thomas Bryant had the most points of any starter for the Lakers other than LeBron. So Bron's putting up his 32, and he's giving his 9 and his 8. After that, 8, 5, 4, and 3 is the rest of your starters. Now, you had guys off the bench contribute. Max Christie gave you 12. Kendrick Nunn gave you 14. Russ gave you 19. Wenyen Gabriel gave you 10. But it's not I don't think the Lakers are – Darvin Ham is looking at that and saying, I really feel like this is the right guy. I feel like he's saying, well, this guy's not giving me enough, so I got no choice but to put in somebody else that maybe I wouldn't use that often. Max Christie played 27 minutes tonight. And I enjoy watching Max Christie play. I'm a fan of his, and I think it was a good draft pick for the Lakers. He's a rookie, and you're trying to stack up W's, and this isn't a rebuilding season, so it's not ideal by any stretch of the imagination. All right, I'm taking another call here. Sal in Pasadena. What's going on, Sal?
Hey, Slee. Huge fan of everything you guys do at ESPNLA.
Thank you, man.
Wanted to mention Thomas Bryant. I feel like he's lacking minutes. When his minutes were up, the team was they're getting wins. They're stealing wins. Now I'm watching the game from the stat sheet. Honestly, I don't really get to sit down and watch the game thoroughly, but his minutes are very low, and then they're not winning these close games. I'll let you go ahead and riff on that.
Appreciate that. Thank you for calling in. What's interesting, Sal, is I think that is a really, really good example of there's no consistency on this Lakers roster, and maybe it just has to do with you got guys in and out of the lineup. I get that. Thomas Bryant, last game they played Sacramento, 29-14, something along 29-12, whatever it was. There's got to be a reason for it, and I don't have that answer for you. But Thomas Bryant only 19 minutes tonight. All right, let's take a quick listen to Lakers head coach Darvin Ham. Here's coach on the Lakers' 5-point loss.
Darvin, Russ just talked about kind of when he watches some of these games over the last week and seeing, it's not always the last play, but there are winning plays down the stretch that aren't being made. You guys lost 3 games this week by 10 points. What's been the difference? What was the difference tonight in terms of execution or what you saw that tipped it in their scale instead of yours?
I think two of the key ingredients to us not, coming out with the W. We gave up too many second chance points early on. It was a time where we came out in a great rhythm offensively and defensively, for that matter. We just allowed them too many second and third opportunities. Giving up 10 offensive rebounds, 10, I think it was 16 points in the first half. And then, that went down to 4. And then, late in the game, our fouling, not being disciplined, showing our hands all the way through the possession. That was pretty tough as well. And, we got up against the clock a little too much indecisiveness in terms of, either shooting the ball, passing it, or driving it. Just being able to make those quick split-second decisions we kind of struggle with later down the stretch. But, tomorrow we'll go in, look at film, see what we can clean up. It's tough because, we got this big collage of games, and it sucks to lose these close games. But, I still feel wholeheartedly that at some point, we're going to break all the way through. We're competing, in my opinion, at a very high level. We got guys that we're trying to mix and match due to injury. So trying to find out what collection of players down the stretch that you can go with is challenging. But, guys are doing their part. They're trying to step up and make plays. And, I love the way we've competed. We've gotten down in stretches, and we fought our way back into it to give ourselves a chance to win. And that's all you can ask for, is to be competitive and be together.
Darvin, you've said many times you want guys to be aggressive and kind of play without hesitation. Why do you think at this point in the year, with these guys able to kind of play within your system, guys are still having those moments, as you call them, of indecision and hesitancy in the moments where the game really hangs in the balance?
I mean, that's a great question. I think it's a couple of things. When Bron is out there, he's leading the charge, and Bron needs help. And when Russ is out there, he's leading the charge, and Russ needs help. And the more guys can just not even think twice about it, read and react. The more, that's when we've done that. The games we've won, the games that we've had 5, 6, 7 different people in double figures. I think that's a result of that. But at this point in time, you can't overthink it. Like, it's just make the simple play. That's it. And I always tell the guys the one mistake you can make is just to not compete. Outside of that, just play within yourself, play within the system, and be disciplined. And fatigue, I think, has a little bit to do with it as well. The schedule. Even though we're home, we're playing back-to-back Sunday, Monday, game Wednesday, today, another game Friday, and the opponents, the competition level is elite. So I think it's just a mixture of all those things. But, sitting here 20 and 25, we have 37 games left to play to try to get things right, but we just can't keep thinking, okay, we can do it the first week of February or the first week of March. No. It has to start now, and we're going to pick ourselves up, refill our cups, and look at it and see what we did well, try to sustain that, and see what we didn't do so well, and try to correct that.
Coach, while you guys are trying to hang on and get AD back and get Austin back and Lonnie back, how concerned are you about LeBron wearing down here? He's playing a lot of minutes over this course of time right now.
Yeah, I feel bad about that. He's playing at an amazing level, but again, we can't run him in the ground. That was one of my main goals coming into this season, man. And not, here he is with 36 and a half again tonight, but we just have to manage him and have clarity in terms of scaling back his minutes some, and again, the non-game days, being smart. His preparation is always on point, but even still holding him out of some things that we may do on the court. He's a high-level IQ basketball player, so he understands. He can sit there and watch something and figure it out, have it all figured out, defensively and offensively. So, to your point, it is a concern. And we have, my staff and I, we talk about it all the time. But it's just tough, man, because he's such a competitor. and we're in these games, and he wants to win, we want to win, so you kind of lose sight of the minutes until you come back and see the stat sheet after the game. You're like, oh hell, but we're gonna figure it out. We have a team of very smart people, our medical training staff and our coaching staff. We'll all put our heads together and see what the best course of action, just to kind of, give him some whatever rest can be gained. Not just going forward in the short term, but in the long term as well.
You talk about the sense of urgency, but you guys are still missing really big pieces, and the schedule has been what it is. Without you putting a timetable, and I know you don't want to do it, is help coming soon? Like, does it feel like these guys will be here before this?
Yeah,
beat you guys down.
No, it's not going to beat us down. We're not going to let that happen. I mean, we take our licks, man, and we keep pushing forward, try to learn from them, and keep our spirits high. That's our foundation. No matter what happens, we have to remain competitive. We have to remain together, and we have to hold ourselves accountable in terms of what we can do better, what we've done good. Again, sustain that and correct the lessons. Sustain the wisdom and correct the lessons. And I feel, again, disappointed, but I'm never discouraged when we fight the way we fight and we give ourselves a chance. Those guys that come back into the fold, we'll go through our process of working them back into the lineup and then balancing out and see, which rotation is going to be our best course of action and take it from there.
All right, 116-111, the final score. Lakers lose to the Sacramento Kings. That's Lakers head coach Darvin Ham. Let me squeeze in a quick call here. Let's go to Renee in Artesia. What's going on, Renee?
Hey, Slee. I don't know. It's just halfway point of the season. I'm in a home with my wife, the Warrior fan, and my son, the Clipper fan, and they just laugh at me because it's like you say the same thing every single game. It's like, yeah, take the name off our jersey, forget LeBron's on our team. We're a great, gutty team. I love how we fight. I love everything that we do. Considering we don't shoot the three, considering we don't have basically a big man, we're not a power team, but somehow we're in every game. And then sitting the last 2-3 minutes of every game, we just forget how to play basketball. And I know the code words. Everybody says how the ball's sticking and the ball, we're not getting movement, but it comes down to LeBron. LeBron's our captain. LeBron's our leader. I don't know when somebody's finally going to just tell him or the coaching staff stands up and says, we can't run this anymore. I wish somebody could pull up the stat of how many times LeBron's the only one that touches the ball. We cross half court. He dribbles. I mean, I could send our scouting report to our next 20 opponents. I can tell you, the game comes down to the last 2 minutes. This is what they're going to do.
Yeah. And Renee, let me jump in. So stay with me here for a quick second. But I appreciate you calling in. I can't really disagree with that, and this is why I was saying that with the Sacramento, you felt like the ball's moving. Obviously, they are much more cohesive than the Lakers are right now. They got real shooters too, guys that don't mind or have confidence in their game that they can hit jumpers, they could create on their own. You just kind of don't have that with the Lakers. I really don't know what else to tell you, but you don't feel like that's there for the Lakers. It's not there on a consistent basis. More of your phone calls coming up next. 877-710-ESPN. Stay right here. This is the Pizza Hut Lakers postgame show on.
Hey, Laker fans, John Ireland here. Have you downloaded the new ESPNLA app? You got to get this thing. It's great. You can get Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, Sedano and Cap, and all of our Lakers talk with Slee right in the palm of your hand.
You're just one tap away from everything Lakers. You could even win Lakers tickets.
React to the Lakers on ESPNLA app.
Download the new ESPNLA app in the App Store or on Google Play.
One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There is no mistake. There's no mistake.
There's
mistake. Mistake. Come on. Seriously, brother. Well, that's right here. It says mistake. Again. There's a mistake.
No! I'm an idiot. No, I cannot find something here.
Double the.
Son of
I don't see it, no. There's a mistake on this page?
Yeah.
Oh, there's two thus.
There you are.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You beat Sliwa.
Yeah. No, I can't find a mistake.
Look at the words.
Still don't see it?
Find the. Yeah, there's two thus. You find the mistake.
God, I feel dumb.
Oh, VD?
Yeah, you
It's
got
double VD. Am I the only one that got it?
Into the Pizza Hut Lakers postgame show.
Highlights from tonight's Lakers game.
And your reaction on the Lakers line.
The Los Angeles Lakers on 710 ESPN.
Presented by Pizza Hut. Try the new Detroit style from Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Once again, here's Alan Sliwa.
All right, a couple more calls here, and then we'll go to LBJ. Renee, who left the game. Renee, what's going on? Thank you for calling in.
Hi, I spoke on Sunday, another disappointing loss, and I just see that in crunch time, these last three games, starting from last Thursday, they are just so disorganized in crunch time, and they just don't know what to do. They dribble the ball and the clock out. LeBron is just left there shooting from the three-point line again with a clanker, and that's the difference between a really good coach and a coach that still needs to grow in his position. Coach Ham never called a timeout with the last 2 minutes, the game on the line, to draw up a play. When you look at all the other great Laker coaches, they would gather at a timeout, they would get the chalkboard, assistants would be there, they get creative, they get the other team, catch them off guard with a good play, and they work the ball from the outside in, and they're just very stagnant, disorganized, no clear direction. And it's just so disappointing because these were three good wins. They could have gotten the win if they had the coach directing them. They just don't know what they're doing.
Renee, I appreciate you calling in. So I don't disagree with – I spent actually the last couple days talking about late game execution, did it in the pregame show earlier today as well. The real way to gauge a coach if you're – I think what the Lakers have been doing in these past few games where they're hanging with teams where you'd say, man, they can hang with them and they don't have two of their starters plus Anthony Davis. I think they fight. I think they stay in games. But I do think late game right now, it's not ideal. And there is too much standing around. And maybe that free flow that got them there, all of a sudden that stops because now you're looking at the clock and each possession is treated differently than it was a quarter before or a couple quarters before. Now, can that all change just overnight once they get some health back? I'm not sure. The hope would be that is the case. I think Reeves and Lonnie Walker need to be reevaluated here shortly. But obviously the big piece is Anthony Davis. We'll have to wait for him to come back. All right, let's take a listen. Here's LBJ on the Lakers' loss.
Talked about whatever the load is, your shoulders are broad for a reason. And just wondered, since AD's been down and you've just had to do more, and night after night, how that balance has struck you. Even last game, you said after the game, you said you were tired. How have you been handling that this season with everything that goes into it?
Just staying ready.
keeping the main thing. And tonight was the Kings, and no matter the fatigue, no matter what's going on with me personally, as far as, bumps and bruises and fatigue, whatever, my job is to go out and still perform at a high level. And, try to put ourselves in a position to win a ball game. And I feel like, we did that tonight again. We just came up a little bit short.
Jay?
Well, the clear path foul didn't exist for many years of your career. I'm just curious, as someone who cares about the overall competition of the sport, you feel not necessarily about the call on Max, just general, if that's an appropriate penalty for that situation.
Yeah, it's a good rule. It's a good rule.
Just to encourage more entertaining plays on the break, or?
Just, giving up on a play, you got guys that's already ahead of you, you just take a foul. And Max was doing what he thought was the right thing. I don't think he's been in that position at all, in his rookie season. He's seen a center breaking away, got the ball out of their best player's hands, so he's going to take a foul. But he also didn't see Harrison Barnes to the right. That was ahead of him, so that's all part of the play. But every experience is best experience in life is the best teacher in life is experience, and he was able to experience that tonight to know going forward. But the rule is the rule.
LeBron, 3 games this week, 10 points is the difference between 4-0 and 1-3. I think you said we're playing good basketball, we're just not winning games. Is there one or two things that tip that scale? Is it just getting a little healthier? Is it anything in particular that you're seeing?
Well, we're definitely a ball club that has we have zero room for error. And tonight, I thought we played a pretty good game. We only had 7 turnovers. That's 9 turnovers in 2 games. That is amazing. We didn't get to the free throw line as much as we could have, but I thought we played pretty good basketball. We did give up, I think it was almost 20 second chance points. Yeah, actually 20 on the dot. Most of those came in the first quarter or the first half. But we don't have much room for error. We are limited with bodies. We played pretty much, almost everybody tonight. Just giving everybody a look. And, until some of our big guys, our key guys get back, and, that's been a problem for us this year with AD and AR and Lonnie, guys who are huge in our rotation. We have to continue to play how we played the last couple of games, trying to play mistake-free basketball. But you've seen a few of the looks tonight. Yeah, a few of the De'Aaron Fox shots, they hit the rim, hit the rim a couple of times, they went in. You see Max, a couple of his threes, they circled around the rim, went out. It's just sometimes it's a game of inches as well, just like football. But, we don't have much room for error.
LeBron, you've mentioned just the different lineups, especially in closing groups, being a huge factor. I'm wondering, when you look at some of the possessions down the stretch where you guys were struggling to beat the shot clock, and I think there was one fourth quarter shot clock violation, are the lineups a factor in guys not being able to figure it out?
No. That's just awareness.
And what can be done to help guys get through the offense faster in some of those key moments?
Just being aware. You got 24 seconds on the shot clock. You have to have an external and internal clock throughout offensive possession.
LeBron, you keyed in on the second chance points, but the Kings have been an offensive juggernaut, at least lately. You held them to 116 points. You have a high-powered offensive team in Memphis coming in on Friday. Is there anything defensively you're looking at that you liked from this game that you can take into that one?
The common denominator is a very explosive point guard. If you don't set your defense early, he will attack early. And that's what De'Aaron Fox is probably the fastest guard that we have in our league, and John Morant probably the most athletic guard that we have in our league. If you don't load your defense early, they will exploit you. And we had a rough time in the 4-game series versus De'Aaron Fox this year. So the good thing about it, we got a taste of it, with that speed and that continual of aggression going towards your defense tonight. So that can give us a sense of awareness how to expect. And obviously, they're different players, but when you talk about aggression and the guys getting into the paint and living in the paint, De'Aaron and Josh, 2 of the guys that do that.
Thank you. Last 2.
Hi, LeBron. With how disciplined you've been during your career with your training and your diet, how does your day-to-day regimen this season compare to your other seasons?
No, it's the same. It's the same. My routine does not change no matter what's going on. I am always locked in on what I need to do on a day-to-day basis to put myself in the best possible chance to be available to my teammates. So that doesn't change.
We have time for one more.
When the game was 107 to 108 right before your free throws in the last quarter, and the entire arena is screaming MVP and cheering you on, what does that energy give you, and how does that make you feel?
I'm just very appreciative that I've been in and not only here, but quite a few buildings in my career where I've heard MVP chants. I think it's very humbling and also be able to put in the work and people appreciate what you bring to the table, the way you approach the game. It's a pretty cool feeling, and I've always just always tried to be as great as I can be on every single night. But it is a cool feeling. And a lot of guys. One thing about being a part of the Lakers, though, you will, no matter who you are, you will at some point hear MVP chant. If you make a couple shots in a row, they will give you an MVP chant. Yeah. I will leave it at that. I was going to keep going, but I quit.
All right, that's LBJ right there. Lakers lose 116 to 111. They are, I read this stat off a little bit earlier. They are 9-17 versus teams above 500. The frustrating thing, I think, for a lot of Laker fans right now is they're hanging in these games, and they're doing it without AD. They're obviously doing it without Austin Reeves and Lonnie Walker and some key players, some key starters. But execution at the end isn't the best. I think they're very predictable at the end. Obviously, the ball, you find it in LeBron James' hands, and they're falling further and further back in the standings. Final call here, Steve in La Habra. Steve, what's going on? Hey, Steve, you're on, buddy. Go ahead.
Oh, hey, sorry about that.
That's okay.
Just listening. I really respect LeBron. My favorite LeBron is Cleveland LeBron, but I think for him to walk off the court without shaking hands of the opposing players is really poor sportsmanship. He's above that. He's one of the greatest ever, but to do that, I think, is in really bad form, and he should, win or loss, go over and, handshake the opposing team.
Appreciate you calling in, Steve. I guess for me, I think most of the players in the league, it seems like he's got a relationship with them. I don't know the details of that. For all I know, he steps off the floor and he goes behind the scenes, and then in the tunnel way, he gets a chance to interact with some of these guys. I don't know. And I know what you're talking about. Bron goes one way. I saw Russ the last couple games go and have conversations with some of these other guys. Lakers are 20-25. Their next game coming up is on Friday night when they take on Ja Morant, who's won 11 games in a row. Pregame starts at 5:30. Tip-off will be at 7 o'clock. I'll be back on tomorrow with Travis Rogers at 10 a.m. We'll continue to have our Laker reaction. All our coverage starts at 6 in the morning with Keyshawn, J-Will, and Max. Thank you to everybody that was a part of the show tonight. So thank you to Michael Funches, Rebecca Womble, Wilbur Flores. Thank you to the social media team, Josh Martinez and Cody Liu. I'm Alan Sliwa, and this has been the Pizza Hut Lakers postgame show on 710.